Britney is looking down at 8-6 offsuit. She and these 7 bad boys have all limped pre-flop. The flop comes 6-3-8 rainbow. And just like that, Britney's 8-6 off turns into a sleeper hit. 2 pair on a board that's dry but sneaky. With all these limpers, someone could easily be chasing a straight. Peter leads out for $500 with top pair top kicker, but Britney bumps it to $2,200 with top 2 pair. And suddenly, this hand goes from a stroll to a sprint. Dr. H says no more discounts and ships it for his all-in, which is just $3,700. With just middle pair and backdoor draws in an 8-way pot, it's a very bold move, especially into a raise and a bet. Kind of feels like a tilt play, to be honest.
Please call. All right, I take it back. Now you can raise. You cannot raise. Just barely.
No one raises to Dr. H's all-in, which suggests everyone is sitting on some kind of draw. The 8 of spades hits the turn, and suddenly, this table turns into a minefield. Britney's rocking the full house, 8s over 6s. But Mike X just quietly leveled up with 3s full of 8s. 2 full houses on the same board, and neither one knows they're in a slow-motion car crash.
River will be an 8.
Peter checks, probably thinking he's still ahead with trip 8s. But what he doesn't know is that he's not just behind. He's in 3rd place on his own highlight reel. Everyone looks relaxed on the outside, but this turn card just started a quiet war. Mike X checks and attempts to slow play a full house, not knowing the innocent girl next to him is holding a stronger full house. She bets $5,000, hoping Peter and Mike X have exactly what they have. Peter just calls, taking his time and hoping to gather some extra clues from Mike X's next move. He's not ready to commit fully yet, but he's definitely keeping his eyes peeled. Mike X is counting his chips, calculating the value of that full house. Then, with a deep breath, he raises to $15,000, thinking it's a value bet. But Britney isn't backing down. In an instant, she fires back with an all-in for $25,000. Peter takes a long pause. After about 3 minutes of intense thought, he finally folds his trip 8s, recognizing that his hand just isn't good enough. It's a tough fold, but it is the right one. Mike X calls and Britney quickly flips over her cards, showing him the nasty cooler. Now, it's all up to the river.
Twice we've seen people go broke in limp pots.
Sitting in the hijack, Britney's holding ace-king suited. With a decisive 3-bet to $5,400, she's laying down the law early. Meanwhile, Andy looks down at king-jack offsuit, a speculative hand that's not exactly built for combat against strong aggression. The turn delivers the 7 of clubs, adding even more tension to an already volatile board. Andy's check here reflects a cautious approach. With mid-pair and an open-ended straight draw to the best straight, his hand is decent but incredibly vulnerable. Britney's bet here is a calculated play. With the nuts already in hand, she's targeting value from hands exactly like Andy's. Weaker top pairs, drawing hands, or overvalued 2-pair combos. Her sizing is designed to keep her opponent in the hand while still charging for potential draws. The river brings the 9 of clubs, completing the board, giving Andy a mirage of a chance by completing his straight. By moving all in, she polarizes her range, representing either a flush or a bluff. To Andy, this could look like a desperate attempt to steal the pot, especially if he assumes Britney could have missed a draw. But in reality, she's holding the best hand with ace-king suited, making this shove a calculated bet for value. As Britney shoves all in, she leans back slightly in her chair, adjusts her posture, and casually fiddles with her water bottle. By appearing unsure, Britney shifts Andy's focus away from her strong betting line. Instead of piecing together the consistent story of strength her bets have told, he might convince himself she's trying to scare him out of the pot with a missed draw or a weaker hand. It's a subtle, calculated risk that only works because of Britney's complete control over her table presence. Andy makes the call, sliding in $53,700. The hands are tabled, and Britney reveals her ace-king suited, locking in the nuts with a Broadway straight.
$153,500 in the middle.
Jennifer Tilley kicks things off with a pair of 5s. But she's up against Hachem with ace-king offsuit, who has raised to $2,500 in this crazy poker cash game.
Daniel's out. Tilley, pocket 5s.
Should be an easy call.
She does.
Surprises one time, Ken, and just put the 3-bet in.
It'll happen.
Surprises
Not
one
with
time.
those cards.
Are you feeling the peer pressure right now?
You can't think of it like that. You have to think that $800 bought you goodwill at the table and possibly an invitation to be invited back. Because, you know, these guys
Smart
love
woman.
when you straddle.
The flop comes 5 king 7 rainbow. Jennifer hits the set and Joe Hachem just made top pair top kicker. And if you know poker, you know that's the kind of hand that makes grown men hand over their chips with a smile and then cry in the parking lot.
Tilly donks it for 3K.
Poor Joe Hachem, this is just not his week.
Poker isn't about what you have. It's about what you represent. And right now, Joe's call caps his range. He's telling Jennifer he doesn't have 2 pair. He doesn't have a set. He's sitting on a 1 pair hand, hoping to keep the pot low.
5 of clubs, quads for Jen. This is the second time Joe's been up against quads this week.
Tilly is holding the bangers. But notice, no fast plays, not even a bet. She's hoping he has caught something to hold on to while she tries to slowly squeeze him off.
Joe could easily think he's ahead.
Obviously he does. He bets 6,500.
Everyone at the table thinks she's the playful actress who overplays marginal hands. But right now, she's successfully turning that persona into pure profit. And Hachem, like most men would, falls for her trap.
And Jen min raises to 13K.
By making it the smallest raise possible, she's given herself a good shot at getting called.
And Joe does make the call. Jen's got quads and she's got herself a customer. Ace of diamonds, 2 pair for Joe. That is not a good card for him.
20,000.
That's 20K.
I'll call.
And Joe calls.
I'll call, Jen.
You call?
4 of a kind again.
Am I the king of quads today or what?
Joe can't believe it.
Really?
Britney has been challenging Peter all night. And now that she is looking at an ace-jack off suit in her hand, he fired a pre-flop raise with pocket 8s. But let's see if she will challenge him this time.
And does Chris want to escalate this pre-flop war?
Ludacris takes some time to decide whether to pursue the Queen 5 of spades. But at last, he decides that he is on this poker table to test his luck and calls Peter's 4 bet. But as we all know, Britney is a player who loves aggressive moves. So she calls and hopes the flop turns out nice. And Peter keeps betting like that.
Britney calls as well, and it's a pretty good one for Britney, a pretty good flop.
The flop comes Jack 4-6 with 2 hearts, which is decent for Britney. She has the top pair, and even though she doesn't know it, there is only the backdoor flush draw or the off chance for another 8 to be worried about, which is very unlikely as you can see from the 12% of equity Peter has. Despite the low chance of him winning, Peter decides to project power and C-bet another $9,000, to which Ludacris snaply folds. And Britney decides to show she is not to be messed with when it comes to poker.
Having 2 8s and the 8 of hearts probably should tilt him away from that.
Peter is visibly confused by how Britney is playing. As I already mentioned, she has been bullying him and sometimes losing weird hands. So now he doesn't know whether it's one of those empty bluffs or if Britney has something.
多少啊？4万几啊？45，这是借来的。45 5，45 4。2次吧。哦。OK。They said twice.
Twice, okay.
我没问题。万一发错
It's a big pot.
波动小一点。没有问题。King。King。哦。
Britney safe on the first run out.
完了。
喊什么八啦？
Peter needs only an 8. There's only 1 left. He doesn't find it, and Britney gets the full double, $118,000 pot.
你刚才打我有一套，现在打。
Bill Hellmuth is looking down at ace-8 offsuit.
It's great if you have a good hand.
I straddle 12-8.
12-8. Oh, fuck.
Look at that.
All right, wait.
Pre-flop begins with a sequence that defies all logic.
All right, I'll straddle. I don't give a fuck. All right, the 25. I've hit the point of not caring anymore.
What do you want to do with
I'm
your
not
money?
going to blind all in. 50. I don't have 25-6.
You have to. I think 25-6.
Blind all in?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think I blind all in?
No, I don't think you blind all in.
I'm all in.
Are you all in? About 55,000.
A moment where the pristine strategy of high-stakes poker is replaced by the sheer, unadulterated chaos of the creator game. Phil Hellmuth, the 14-time bracelet winner, he shoves all in, hoping to pick up the dead money. In a normal game, this might isolate a single opponent. But this is not a normal game.
No more content.
Yes.
Why? Because he wants to buy that. The pot that you don't know what your
You
cards
owe me.
are.
You know what? You owe me, Botez, so I don't mind if you call.
Did you expect
if you were,
Paul to
you know.
26? Yeah. What about taking advantage of our stupidity? I'm so happy you just said that. What about it? That's literally like, why would you all in? What do you mean? He's not gonna call 26,000.
20K family pot, all right? Half and half.
I call.
There's the call.
Are you trying to do the chips? Yeah.
Alan has ace-3, by the way. Does he call?
I call.
Oh my god.
Can call?
God.
And add another
He has the biggest dick. I'm all in.
55,000 to it.
This is all in.
Wait, how much do you have?
I'll let you count.
This is 12-8 right here.
And now we get an all-in over the top.
Insane straddle. Okay. So let me get 56.
I'm all in.
Okay.
Take it all.
This is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of a $300,000
Yeah, flip.
flip, I guess.
I mean, obviously.
By the way.
Or no, that's 80, 80, 80, 250. Put it in.
339,000 in there.
How many times ever? I'm going to say this. He's stalling.
Oh my god. And queen.
Oh, that's
A 3.
wow.
So she's winning.
Everybody pairs but Beast.
Everyone but me.
What is happening?
Everyone but me. Come on.
That means there's 6 left for you, King.
How in the hell can someone...
That's fine.
It's a queen.
I'm calling it right now. This is a queen. I'm calling it right now. This is a queen.
No queens.
I will literally tip you $20,000 if you put a queen. 9, 3, 8, queen.
You better put a queen there in your best interest.
He's praying.
20 grand.
Even Magic can't do that. And Botez again. Are you kidding me?
What, like ace 9 off? 600,000 now? Oh my
Top 100 female poker owners.
That's it. Did you crack it just now?
Jimmy, you realize how many chips I have?
Bro, you know how many I have? I have like 10K left.
I mean, what the fuck? She called $50,000 with an ace 9 offsuit, and I'm losing in this fucking game. What the fuck?
That is literally why I knew this was going to be.
What is happening? What is that?
Well, at least.
Bro, we're getting steamrolled.
At least I know she'll lose back to 500,000.
The girl is bawling. She's gonna single-handedly fix the wage gap in America.
Phil Hellmuth is looking down at pocket tins.
100, 200, 300.
Hearing Phil talk about Alex, I kind of want Alex to felt him on this hand.
Pre-flop captures the absolute chaos of the creator game, where traditional poker logic often goes out the window in favor of ego. Mr. Beast, the YouTube titan known for his splashy style, opens the action to 1,000 with 9-8 offsuit. It is a loose open, but standard for his image. Tom Dwan calls, and then the action falls to Phil Hellmuth. Sitting with pocket tins, Phil decides to put an end to the nonsense immediately. He puts in a massive 3-bet to 13,000. This is Phil's signature play, an oversized raise designed to punish the amateurs and take down the dead money right there. However, Alexandra Botez, the chess grandmaster turned poker player, has other plans.
I want everyone to know that what's happening at this table is most certainly not poker. It's something far different, you know?
I like this game a lot better.
Addiction.
She makes the cold call, likely relying on the immense implied odds and the fact that she has position on the poker brat. This sets off a chain reaction. Mr. Beast and Dwan both called a huge price, creating a bloated 4-way pot of over 52,000 going to the flop. Phil Hellmuth is now trapped in a nightmare. He has built a massive pot with a medium pair.
But it's rare we get all these people together in the same spot. We should enjoy it.
It is nice.
The flop falls.
The flush for Alexandra Botez. The rich get richer.
Hellmuth checks immediately. Phil's pocket tins have gone from a premium holding to a mere underpair. He is in survival mode, hoping to see a free turn card or get to a cheap showdown.
Raise to 50.
That is 50,000. Ridiculous.
You know, if you did like 20, I probably would have called, but have fun with that.
Really? I thought you called everything.
What'd you call 13,000 with this time? King, queen offsuit or some shit?
Calm down.
Run it out. Let me see it.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, I may have been too aggressive. That was my bad.
What the fuck is going on here?
Bill, I gotta tell you, it's a pleasure.
I could watch this for like, I don't even know, a week straight.
She's gonna give it all to me. We
I
should call
couldn't
this
lose
some
when she was
bullshit
dealing.
hand. What do you think?
But also, you were cool.
Can I play behind?
Maria Ho is looking down on King 9 suited. She limps the button which already tells you her plan to keep ranges wide and let him put himself in a bad position post-flop. Ike makes it 230K from the blind. That's classic heads-up logic. Punish the limp, isolate, take control with position post-flop. The problem is, Maria's hand actually plays great versus that sizing, and her call means Ike is now in the blender with a weak, dominated hand in a bloated pot. This flop is basically nightmare equity mapping for Ike. He flops trips if he's Maria, but he's not Maria, she is. He just pairs his 6. With that texture, from Ike's perspective, he's going to get called by worse a lot if he bets, and he's also repping strong, so he continuation bets 175K. That C bet with middle pair is him kind of value protecting and denying equity versus overcards. Maria just calls. She doesn't raise, and that flat is so evil. If she raises the flop, Ike can sometimes hero fold hands and avoid lighting the rest of the clip on fire. By just calling, she keeps in literally everything he can keep barreling with. He shuts down, he checks. That check is him saying, okay, maybe I don't need to blast with just a 6 here, let's control. Maria bets 310K into that check. That sizing is nasty because it forces Ike to start making real decisions with a bluff catcher, and it continues the story that she could just be stabbing after he gave up on the king. From Ike's point of view, her line still looks super wide. She can absolutely be floating with air and now trying to win it. So Ike calls. The river pairs the 6. That is the cruel part. Ike goes from, I have 2 pair, I'm bluff catching, to wait, I've got a full house now, 6 is full of 9s. I actually beat random bluffs and counterfeited 9s that didn't improve. His hand upgrades in his mind. He checks, planning to catch, and Maria just rips it in.
And she shoves on Ike.
I want to make a really big fold here. I think you have it.
5 seconds.
Yeah, okay. Time to look either real smart or real dumb. Ugh, that was gross.